I am really enjoying Assassination Classroom. I mean, I really am having a lot of fun. Like, this episode was fun. I was so fucking entertained watching this episode. Like, I sat down, and it felt like 4 to 5 minutes. It really did. And that's just how entertaining this episode was. Now, I'm gonna say, there's actually some deep meaning with this episode I noticed, which I will talk about. But first things right off the bat, entertainment. Assassination Classroom has so much entertainment that you can really just be happy sitting down and watching this, grab, you know, a cup of coffee, cup of tea, and you can relax to this. It's funny, too. It even gives you some giggles, and I laughed a couple times while watching this episode, and it still kept up a very serious manner about it, even in these comedy moments. So, Assassination Classroom, definitely a lot better than I actually thought it would be, because I've heard from fellow Chibits, you know, before I ever started the anime, is that this series gets quite episodic. Like, it gets episodic to where it really doesn't go anywhere, but if the episodes, or if it does become episodic and it's like these type of episodes, I think I will be fine with it, because there was some meaning in this episode that I can really see showcasing further on in this series that will really make this series shine. Now, I know for a fact Assassination Classroom in Japan at the moment is really doing well. It's like usually always in the top 5 when it comes to manga chapters, and that's pretty fucking good. That's really good for Assassination Classroom. And I've never really read it. As I said in my last review, I've only read like the first 2 chapters, and that's really all I know about it. And this entire episode was completely new to me. I did not know what to expect, and I was shocked to see some life lessons in this episode. So let's actually dive into that. This episode, besides the comedy and the funny wackiness of Koro-sensei trying to be assassinated and stuff like that with the flower beds, it actually has some meaning here that you could really take and learn from. Like, the student that was the baseball player. He used to be a baseball player. He used to be in the baseball club. We find out some information about E-Class, and E-Class cannot participate in any clubs at all because they are E-Class. For instance, a lot of people will have a lot of prejudice towards E-Class, and so E-Class is separated. Like, they have a shitty school, shitty tables, pretty much, supposedly from what other classes know, and E-Class can't participate in any clubs. So, with this, we find out some information of how students really think of E-Class. Like, they think they're trash, dirt, and stuff like that, or they're retarded, and you have it to where E-Class is not that bad, honestly. Like, the atmosphere of E-Class is a lot more cheery than actually the regular classes in the other schools, because let's actually compare the atmosphere that was perceived in this episode. For one thing, it was just very apparent and very obvious that the students in the actual real school, the schools that were for smart kids, supposedly, like A class, B class, C class, stuff like that, those classes, they seemed like they were put down, like they were being crushed by the weight of passing, by the weight of studying, by the weight of not getting to E-Class. That's pretty much how all these students were being perceived when I saw that segment in this episode. And when you switch over to E-Class, they're just laughing, having fun, and, they're just having a great time with their lives. So, it just shows you how much Koro-sensei has really affected and changed their lives compared to how they were beforehand, because I probably don't even want to know who the teacher of E-Class was before Koro-sensei even came around. Probably someone that really hated E-Class. But anyways, talking about the deeper motives besides that, let's talk about the actual student, the baseball player. The student that, was into baseball, and he wanted to really be a professional baseball player, as I could see. He lost his interest in baseball after becoming a part of E-Class and, failing and always getting strikes when he threw. That sensei, Koro-sensei, actually went out of his way to give him some life lessons in this episode, and I was quite shocked to see Koro-sensei do that, and once again, it has more mystery pop up around Koro-sensei. I mean, why would this alien-like creature with tentacles, this teacher, really want to teach kids this information, like life lessons, like what, the baseball player kid learned in this episode? Why would this teacher want to do that when he's just going to kill everybody in a year? So, there's just so much mystery around the teacher. I want to know more, because why would he give a life lesson that deep to his student? Like, your wrists are more flexible and you can actually throw a ball a lot better than even the person you look up to. So, finding that out, I was like, damn. Really good episode with showcasing stuff like that. This episode has a lot of meaning, too, if you look for it. Good episode. Animation, for the most part, freaking amazing. It looks good. It really does. It looks better than some things I've seen from this season. So, Assassination Classroom, keeping up that animation quality. Music-wise, big fan of the opening, big fan of the ending. Love the music and soundtrack. Very colorful and beautiful. And it definitely suits the color palettes when it comes to animation and art style. So, overall, Amazing. Better than I thought it would be. So tell me your thoughts in the comments below. I love you all so much. You have a wonderful day or not wherever you live. Please be safe, and Chibi out.